This is section 3.4, Find and Use Slopes of Lines. So the last three sections of chapter 3 are more algebra-based sections, so some of this will be a review. So what is slope? Remember, M is the letter that we use for slope. It's rise over run, or change in y over change in x, and the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Find the slope of line A and line D. So first let's find the slope of line A. We need to look at line A, which is this blue line, and use the 2 points that are on that line. So remember, y's go on top. Okay, so M is slope, and I just put a sub A so we know it's slope of A. Y's go on top, which are 4 and 2, because x, y, x, y. So I'm going to do 4 minus 2. And since I went top to bottom, I have to go top to bottom for the x's as well. So 6 minus 8. 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. And 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. So the slope for line A is negative 1. Now let's find the slope for line D. Okay, so line D also has that 6, 4 point on it, and it has the point 6, 0. So again, y's go on top, so 4 minus 0. X is on the bottom, 6 minus 6. They get 4 over 0. Now if you try to divide by 0 in your calculator, it's going to say error, because you're not allowed to divide by 0. So our slope is undefined. Okay, and you could have saw that on the picture as well, because any vertical line has undefined slope. Any horizontal line like line C has slope of 0. Okay, so that's easy to tell as well. The rest you would though need to use this formula and calculate out the slope. Alright, so a couple postulates. Slopes of parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. Okay, so obviously then vertical lines are parallel to each other because they're undefined slopes. Slopes for perpendicular lines, they are opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay, so horizontal lines, which are 0, are perpendicular to vertical lines where they're undefined. Okay, what opposite reciprocal means is if I had, say, a slope of 2/3, opposite means I change the sign, and reciprocal means I flip it over. So my perpendicular slope would be negative 3/2. So we talked about that in Algebra 1. Alright, so find the slope of each line, which lines are parallel. So we have the slope for K1, slope for K2, and slope for K3. So K1 is the blue line. The y values again go on top, so 4 minus 0. X values go in the denominator, so negative 2 minus negative 3. Remember, minus a negative makes it a plus 3, so I end up with 4 over 1, or 4. K2, the red line, y values are 5 and 1. X values are 4 and 3. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. So again, I get 4. And K3, the green one, you do 3 minus negative 2 for the y's. 6 minus 5 for the x's. Minus negative makes a plus. So we have 5 over 1, which is 5. So they ask which lines are parallel. K1 is parallel. Remember, that's the symbol for parallel to K2. Because they both have a slope of 4 and parallel lines have the same slope. Alright, draw a perpendicular line. Line H passes through the point 3076. Graph the line perpendicular to H that passes through the point 25. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that. So go ahead. Okay, so I got the 0.30 graphed and the 0.76 graphed, and I drew the line through those, point H, and then I graphed the 0.25. Now we want to graph a line that's perpendicular to line H. So first we need to know what the slope of line H is. So we're going to use the 2 points they gave us to find the slope of line H. So the y values are 0 and 6, x values are 3 and 7. So we end up with -6 over -4. Two negatives make a positive, and that reduces to 3 over 2. So remember, if I want slope that's perpendicular, okay, remember you take the opposite, so you change the sign and you do the reciprocal, so it's going to be -2/3. So now that I have my 0.25 graphed, I can just use the slope and use rise over run to graph the rest of my line. So down 2 and right 3. So down 2 and right 3, down 2 and right 3. That's what my line's going to look like, and I'm just going to make it dashed. Okay, so I graphed my line that's perpendicular, and that does look like a right angle, so that probably means that I did it correctly. Okay, and that's all there is for section 3.4.